Ant keeping is an awesome hobby that is rewarding in so many ways. It is a hobby that's also growing drastically. I see more and more ant keepers daily on all platforms, and they all have one question in common. What is the best beginner ants that you can keep, since there are thousands of ants to choose from? And that actually got me thinking, what is the easiest and best ants that you can keep as a beginner? Well, it's Lasius Niger. Bye! That's such a cop-out answer, and honestly, it's not the most satisfying answer if you're a beginning ant keeper. For my list, we're going to be looking at a few things. We're going to be looking at the foundational difficulty, growth rate, and how active these ants are. That way you'll know exactly what you're getting into. So, roll the intro, Ant Bay. To start, let's cross off some of the hardest and most difficult ant species such as the leafcutters, bullet ants, bull ants, honeypots, and other super exotic species. Then, let's cross off some of the ants that are super escape artists such as the fire ants, ghost ants, and even the Argentine ants. Oh come on now, don't look so sad, there are plenty of fish in the sea. Oh, in this case, ants in the woods or in the land? I don't know, you get what I mean. First on the list is the Lasius Niger, otherwise known as the black garden ants, and I'm pretty sure every other channel has said these ants are good ones to start with. And yeah, it's true, these girls do make a decent ant for beginners. So let's take a look as to why. Well, during the foundation period, the queens aren't too scared of light or vibrations, so that means you can actually check on the queen without worrying too much of it eating the brood. And they also have a decent growth rate, and the colony can get up to anywhere between 4,000 to 7,000 strong. But I would say they're on the slower side of things considering their size. Only in the second or third year, the queen actually ramps up production of eggs. Plus, in the first year, they aren't too active, only foraging when absolutely necessary. But as the colony gets bigger, they become more active. One of the biggest turnoff of these ants are actually their hibernation, which can last from anywhere between 4 to 6 months. And that's just too much time. Overall, these ants are pretty decent to keep, but not the most exciting. I would give it 6.5 out of 10. Next are the harvester ants, preferably the Messor genus. If you're one of the laid-back type, these girls are the perfect fit. Although these ants are common, their foundation period can be a little bit difficult as the queen is super sensitive to light and vibration. So the best thing you can do for her is to give her a few seeds and put her away. But not for too long as their growth rate is super fast. You can expect to have the first generation workers within the first month. And as soon as the first generation of workers come, the queen ramps up the production in eggs, as she is no longer worried about taking care of the brood or making ant bread. And oh yeah, these girls make bread, which is a super awesome adaptation. Like I said before, the growth rate of these ants are fast, and colony can get up to anywhere between 7 to 10,000 workers. And if you do everything right, the colony can reach up to 1,000 strong just within the first year. Plus, these girls are polymorphic, which means they produce different sizes of workers. Starting from tiny little workers to super mages that are big as the queen, some have heads that's even bigger than the queen. And watching them collect seed is super therapeutic. At least I think so. Overall, these ants are a good starter colony for beginners and experts alike. I would give it 8 out of 10. Next are my personal favorite, the Camponatas or the Carpenter Ants. Pretty much most of Carpenter Ants are good for beginners and checks off all the required lists. And these girls have so many to choose from such as the giant C802, Ligniperidis, and Maculatus, and so on. So here are my top 2 that I would recommend for everyone in no particular order. First are the Caponatas Nicobrenzas. A lot of ant keepers keep these girls, and I can see why. To start with, these girls are polygynous, so that means you can start a colony with multiple queens. The colony I started with had 2 queens, although I haven't seen the second queen in a while. These ants are super chill, and most of the time they do not care about vibrations or lights, so the founding stage is actually super simple. Plus, their growth rate is really fast. The first set of workers will come within the first month and a half, and as soon as the workers come, the queens will ramp up the production of their eggs. The colony can get up to 10,000 strong with just 1 queen, so who knows how big mine will get. You can see their growth rate really pick up after the colony hits about 100 workers, and their demand for protein and sugar drastically increases. Plus, like all carpenter ants, they're polymorphic. Additionally, these girls are super clean, The cleaning up process after them is much better than other colonies. So if you want something simple, fast, and just exciting to watch, I would definitely recommend these girls. 9 out of 10. Next on the list, yes, you guessed it, is the Camponatas Floridanis. These girls are by far my most favorite ants to keep. They check off every single requirement. The queen is super chill and pretty much don't care about lights and vibration. When I first started keeping ants, I didn't know much at that time and I consistently bothered them. I'm sure she didn't like it, but she just didn't care and they continued to grow. Even though they're on the larger side, their growth rate is exceptional and they can reach up to 8 to 10,000 strong. Just within 6 months of keeping them, my colony reached over 1,000 and now they're probably around 3 to 4,000. If it wasn't for the mass die-off, the colony would probably be much bigger. Plus, they produce massive super majors that are big as the queen and they can tear open any insect you give them. They're also super active, always foraging, and their demand for sugar is next to none. And for the longest time, these girls were the fan favorite on Instagram. Now that I've given them bigger outgrowth, they're actually super easy to take care of. If you're looking to keep ants, then you cannot miss with these girls. I personally love taking care of them and I'm sure you will too. Definitely 10 out of 10. Honorable mention goes out to Camponatas Nicobrenzas, or as I like to call them, Campopots. Only because they look super awesome whenever you give them colored food, their stomachs will also change in colors, just like honeypots. And I think that's just super cool. And they have majors that are super vibrant and rich in color, resembling their queen. They're honestly a little bit hard to keep, especially in the initial stages, as they're super sensitive to light and vibration. And even now, whenever I shed a little bit light on them, they panic. So I love them, but I cannot recommend them for beginners. But if you're experienced and know what you're doing, or just want to take a risk and you want beautiful ants, I would definitely recommend these girls. Their growth rate is actually not too bad. Right now, mine is probably around 1,000 workers, but it's been about a year. And in the wild, it seems like they can only go up to maybe 3 to 4,000, which is still a lot. Don't get me wrong, it is still a lot, but if you want a colony that's like bustling and you want a lot, I wouldn't go with them. But then again, I would recommend them. And yeah, I think that's about it for today. So let me know if you guys liked this video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want me to cover other topics, make sure to leave that in the comments below. And until next time, guys, bye! Oh wait, no. It's I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I keep on forgetting my outro. Oh boy. Well, bye-bye!